Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last elections, Peter Obi, on Tuesday visited the injured victims receiving treatment at the Bauru Diko Teaching Hospital and donated 5 million naira. The former Anambra State Governor, in a post on X, commended the Kaduna State government for its efforts in bringing succor to the victims and urged the military to be more cautious and professional when carrying out operations, stating that the occurrence of 16 mishaps, which have claimed about 485 lives since 2009, when the country initiated the war against insurgency, is quite worrisome.
This is about, I think, the 16th time, and we have a 16th time. Let me first appreciate the hard work and the effort of the military in helping us to secure the country. But then we should also re-examine and ask ourselves this fundamental question about this reoccurrence where we have 16 times and we have lost almost 500 people. Why is this happening and everything? And be able to see how, as a government in particular, we can support the military to ensure that these things don't happen again. You know, it brings me into question. I always ask at times when I listen to the present, I think it's Chief of Defense Staff, who said that their regular allocations are not, budgetary allocations, are not released to them adequately. And then one questions, what is our priority? To release money for non-essential things like SUVs or renovations and everything, or to release money to secure ourselves? Because security, everybody knows, is very, very critical to our problem today. That will take our farmers back to farm, which will tackle our main inflationary item, food.
Very good gesture by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. This morning I was listening to a good report from our correspondent Omo Bazwaye, who talked about that, you know, nearly 2 weeks after this whole incident, we are yet to hear from the Senate about the investigation, the ongoing investigation, 2 weeks after. But it's great that the Senate also, you know, they did donate their December salary, 109 million. But before I hear from you guys, in the same vein though, Vice President Kashim Shetima pledged 25 million naira to indigent female students during the 13th convocation lecture of Al-Hikmah University in Ilorin over the weekend. Shetima, however, told male students to struggle and pay their fees because they are men, just like himself, eliciting some reactions. Let's take a listen before we take some reactions.
Sorry, I am gender sensitive. I want to make a pledge of 25 million naira scholarship to indigent female students. Indigent female students without the means to pay for their school fees. The men, I'm sorry, I'm just like you can struggle and pay your school fees.
You know, I'm coming to you on this story. I mean, he got some backlash by, you know, some, you know, male users on social media saying, why now?
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what, when he was speaking and on watching that video, I had to think deeply as, okay, is this a good move or not? I'm pro-women, of course you know that. Absolutely. I'm a woman myself, and I think that in terms of gender equity, women have more in terms of support that they need to be able to bridge the gender gap. And so perhaps that is what the motive of the vice president was. Statistics and research have shown that women are doubly disadvantaged when it comes to access to education, access to finance, especially in the area where he donated. So yes, it's a good move. However, as the vice president of Nigeria, I would say as well that he shouldn't leave out the men. He shouldn't leave out the young boys, because when it comes to indigent students, it's not classed by gender. Men, you know, female and male students are from indigent backgrounds. However, to end this, I'll just say that female students ought to be supported I am grateful and glad that he has highlighted that. And I think he sent a very strong signal, especially to the north from where he is, where female education has been under serious attack, especially from Boko Haram activities. So this is a great move by the Vice President.
So for me, I mean, thank you, Vice President, for that gesture to female students out there. The truth has to be said, yes, society is skewed against females. We have that problem. But I think it's also a big cultural problem we have. In the vanguard of compensating for the harm or the injustice that has been done for female all the while, we have now relegated boys or men to the background, and it's causing a lot of problems in the society. We're focusing a lot on women, which is a good thing. We're relegating men, forgetting that those women are also going to interact with men. Right. And it's a cultural thing, all right? So he might not understand it, but you hear what he said you should go and do, go and fend for yourself. And that cultural thing has also seeped into the problem men are facing, that when men talk about mental health, they say, oh, you're a man, you should be able to get over it. A lot of boys are being, relegated to the background. They're going through a lot. There's nobody to talk to for them in society. It is so bad that there's a proliferation of men that are sexually abused, but they can't come out even to talk because they'll look, oh, you're a man, how would that auntie sexually abuse you? So I am seeing that society is skewed away from these young boys and men. Nobody's speaking up for them. But the truth is, we are raising all those great women, which is good in society, but they are coming to interact with weak boys that society have forgotten.
We need to speak.
And we need to balance it out. So he might not understand it, but there's a need for balancing that societal prospect out. It's really important. And kudos to Mr. Peter Obi, for the donation. Like he said, more investigation needs to be done as regards what happened.
Well, I don't want to be as presumptuous as to dictate to an individual how to spend his money. The 25 million that we're talking about here is the Vice President's personal money. It's not public funds. And it may just say in jest, because it may appear humorous to some people, to say, okay, this 25 million, I'm giving it to indigent female students, not everybody. But the larger import of the Vice President's presence there was that he delivered the convocation lecture. I was more interested in the details of his convocation lecture, in which he was making the case for the importance of education for everybody, not female, male and female, for all students to build the future of Nigeria, and particularly focusing on technology and encouraging the students that technology is the future. Number two, he talked about agricultural productivity as a way of creating opportunities within the system and jump-starting the economy. Nobody can argue with that. On that same day, he commissioned the shetima, the Kashim Shetima School of Nursing at the university, at the Ikma University. That School of Nursing is for both male and female. Two, he commissioned the Faculty of Law Moot Court. That will also be used, by male and female. I don't have details whether he was the one that donated those platforms, but we should be. We should have a fuller picture of what the Vice President did there. And we must know, of course, that the Vice President is not in the business of selling ice cream. So he has a right to spend his money the way he wants.
Well, but I really applaud Rufai's advocacy. There's a lot of boys that are in danger, which I actually understand. It is.
It is a societal culture that are fast destroying boys. That's what I'm advocating.
Absolutely.
I don't care about what the Vice President.
You can do whatever you want with your money, but we need to advocate
beyond the Vice President
for more boys. We're talking about equality here, right?